was real good at that. But they, I guess by that they were as good as they had been, like early on.
Did you send
70s.
messages out? Did you send messages out?
Yeah. But they keep.
And then what would you do? Just have a car, have the radio in the car, and just drive like heck to get away from there?
Mostly boat. All I remember is the boat. And walk down the island.
Did you have a radio on your back then?
Somebody else had it. It was there wherever we were. We kept changing, and the radio was wherever we went.
Yeah, that sounds quite dangerous.
It was. That's why everything I wore or had on was unidentifiable and strictly volunteer.
You should see. You saw his picture, didn't you? Of him in those outfits on. Looked like a criminal.
Well, he was a criminal. He was.
Absolutely. Well, the whole thing was international law against international law. We had no business going into Stockholm and flying.
That wasn't as dangerous going into Warsaw.
Into Stockholm.
I say that wasn't as dangerous as going into Warsaw.
Oh, Stockholm.
Probably a cakewalk up there.
So were you staying in Warsaw itself the entire 21 days?
No, kept moving every night and sometimes twice a night.
But in Warsaw, or were you out in the country?
In Warsaw and out in the farmhouse. In cellars. Busted cellars. We lived like rats.
I wonder if was this about the time that they were torching the Warsaw ghetto over there, or maybe that was before?
Well, they were blowing it away then, that time. That was about all I needed of that.
Oh, I can believe it.
We all agreed. Then we was told we didn't have to go to London. We just went into and we went to Presley. And I was shaving out to here. The name came over the thing. I'm on my way to New York, half shaved.
And when he came back?
And nobody's on the thing but my two friends that have been at that neighborhood.
Tell him the rest of it.
They were like money.
When you got back, you just collapsed.
Weighed 119 pounds.
Wow.
It was really. Father went to see him too. I went, of course, and stayed. Father came too. He talked to the doctors. But Nicky just cried. He's in there 6 months, I think.
Well,
Seems like it.
I did all right till I ran into a medical psychiatrist. He says, Nicholas, you've been living up here. He says, every time you poured yourself into that airplane, your good common sense told you not to do it. And he said, the older you are, the more it affects you. And he says, now, you're on the middle and your other is taken over. And my nerves went all to pieces.
Well, it took you until
Hit my limit.
it was up until about 5, 7 years ago that you took your first airplane ride since then, I guess, isn't it? Because you used to take the train or drive all the time.
You did it first, Nicky.
Oh, 20 years.
Yeah, every time we'd see you out here, it was on a train.
I don't want to fight one. But it didn't bother me a lot. It didn't bother me then, but I couldn't stand in closed places. I couldn't stand elevators. Yep.
Now, do planes bother you at all now?
Except I'm interested in what the guy's doing. I can tell the stick to the pilot.
Tell us.
I can tell different pilots. Just like you can tell who's using the telegraph tube. You can identify it. You got it. Takes a while, but you can. Like I know it was you if you were typing.
But,
So I always knew a Spanish or a German. And And if I wasn't sure, I'd just flip the code sheet. He couldn't answer that. Say, hello, crowd.
Now, what's
You
this
know,
about?
Franco at Algeciras, and Franco was on Hitler's side, and a couple of guys fell for it at Gibraltar. Uh, Weathering, talking, directing, nice English voice. Said, time to change to such and such. And a couple, they landed in in Spain, and that's it.
What became of those fellows that landed in Spain?
Corporal Sherry, and he lost $1 million plane. The plane was $1 million then.
What if you're court martial? That doesn't matter. Just so you're out. I guess they have to, after the war, Nikki, do you have to look at your discharges or anything?
Yeah, it says the time is there. It says infinite.
Time is there infinite.
The time when I was on that time, it says infinite. In parentheses.
Impotent or
Infinite.
infinite?
Infinite.
Seemed like you were there forever.
No, I want to talk about it. I'm not supposed to talk about that for 50 years.
That was about 50 years now. Now,
What they told you when you were
Right.
when you left the Air Force, don't talk about any of these stories. From
Air Army. I never was in the Air Force, Phil.
Oh, okay. But when they let you out, they said you're not allowed to talk about any of this for 50 years.
No, when I left the thing,
What
that
thing?
part only.
Oh, okay. When he was going from Stockholm down to Warsaw.
That's it.
now these fellows who were interned in Stockholm, was anything ever done about any of them, or were they just all given a welcome home?
I don't know. When they didn't come to the States, they went to England. And
Rudy was talking.
frankly, they needed a lot of them.
Okay, what?
They needed them.
Or Rudy
Some
Finland
of
was
them are
talking
pilots,
yesterday
they-
about the Americans doing the same thing in Switzerland. You know, landing on
Oh, sure.
snowfields. And they would come with cigarettes and chocolate and such, you know, just like they planned.
Chocolate
three-
in Switzerland would be like chocolate in
Well, that's true.
oil in Arabia. Switzerland was the place to be. Isn't that funny?
There they are,
That
stuck
Hitler
in the
never
middle.
touched Switzerland, and nobody ever does. Need Napoleon.
Well, because that'd be a hard country to hold. Because every man goes in the army, and every man has a rifle, and every man
Is
is
ready.
fight to the death.
Well, that's what I thought about Italy.
Oh no, not Italy.
You know, for all our Mussolini was the Ayatollah for the decades, you know. And I told you, I remember when I was there, the whole streets of Naples, Rome, no matter wherever, was in uniforms were everywhere. For everyone who was in uniform, you had 20 had theirs hanging at home, just like the Swiss, you know.
Was that in 1933 you're talking
Yeah.
about?
And you had to get out of the way because here come a whole regiment of Italians. And remember they blew these horns and they had these funny feathers in the back of their
Oh,
hats
oh,
and
sure.
short pants, and they're running like crazy. I mean, like a thundering herd. You better get out of the way. I thought Italy was the most armed. They wouldn't fight, fortunately, or luckily.
This is when he
Didn't
went
fight.
abroad by himself.
You know,
They're all show.
20,000 of them in the Greece thing. Hitler just shot them.
Is that right?
Is it by through?
A whole regiment.
You're going to get awfully bored when this comes.
Maybe we better call it.
Yeah, how we get the West into this?
It's easy.
Well, yeah.
You warmonger.
I'd like to see part of this just to see how it comes off.
Okay, I'll go ahead and turn it off.